Welcome, good morning young people of Glenwood. Welcome to your Sunday morning thing. Hope you had a nice week in the sunny weather. I really hope you did, because it's finished now. So I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. In the main Glenwood service at the moment, they're looking at the Beatitudes. So I thought I would also look at the Beatitudes with you guys. Anyway, so before we start to talk about the Beatitudes, we've got to take one step back and tell you a bit about the Sermon on the Mount. The Sermon on the Mount happens relatively early in the Gospels in the story of Jesus. In very short summary, the Gospel according to Matthew, there is chapter 1, the birth of Jesus.
I'm going to name him Jesus, just like the angel said.
There it is. Chapter 2, the three kings and Herod.
I've got gold. I've got frankincense.
And I've got myrrh.
There it is. Chapter 3, John the Baptist and the baptism of Jesus.
In the name of God I baptize you.
This is my Son, with whom I am well pleased.
There is chapter 4, Jesus is tempted by Satan.
Hey Jesus, want some nice stuff?
No.
And then chapters 5, 6 and 7 are the Sermon on the Mount. So Matthew fairly well whizzes through the whole birth of Jesus, the Son of God sort of thing, like in just one chapter. But he gives 3 whole chapters to this sermon. So Matthew, at least, thinks it's a very important thing to tell you about. So, a sermon is a bit like a speech, and it's generally about religious type stuff. A bit like this, but you'd be glad to hear that Jesus was considerably better at it. And a mount, I guess, is like a mountain but a bit smaller. But I suppose speech on the hill doesn't sound as good. Anyway, so Jesus, as we've just seen, has come back from the wilderness, where he's been tempted by the devil. And he's called his first lot of disciples, and they start going about the place doing Jesus-y type things, healing sick people, telling people about the kingdom of God, Jesus-y type things. And one day, he's got a pretty big crowd with him, following him around, listening to him. So he thinks, I'm going to go to the top of a hill, right? Probably just so, he can get sort of up a bit higher and people can kind of gather around below and everyone can see him and hear him, right? So he goes to the top of this hill, right? And he starts talking. He starts to give this Sermon on the Mount. Right, so getting back to where we started. During the speech, it says that Jesus talks for pretty much a whole day about the kingdom of God. The first section of this, I guess like before they had their morning coffees or whatever, is known as the Beatitudes. Now you might have seen this next clip in the main service last week, but I thought I'd show it to you again. So here is Nix, and she's reading the Beatitudes, and it's Matthew, it's chapter 5, and it's verses 3 to 12.
Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacekeepers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, For this is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you.
Okay, so to look at this then, first off, we understand that when the word blessed is used, there's a very early version of the Bible that's written in Latin, and the word beati was used, right? Beati pauper spiritu. You didn't know I could speak Latin, did you? That's not a Harry Potter spell. That means blessed are the poor in spirit. There you go, learn something. Anyway, so the word beati was used, right? And it doesn't have a direct translation. 3 words that sort of translate it and you get the feeling of what it means. Blessed, which is what they use in most of the modern translations. Rich, or happy. I'm going to use the word happy. So, what do you think would make you happy? Having lots of money? Some of you might have part-time jobs. How do you feel on payday? Like, got your cash there. Awesome, I'm so happy I'm going to go out and spend this now. Yeah? What if you've had like a really, really nice meal, your favourite restaurant, your favourite takeaway, whatever, you had a really good meal, you're so full of food. Are you happy? What about being the boss and having lots of power, right? Now, the people that were listening to Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, they might agree with a few of those things actually. Bear in mind, 2,000 years ago, most people just sort of lived off what they could grow in their own gardens. Those that did have jobs probably wouldn't have been very well paid, and they might have had like a master that didn't treat them very well at all. Not many people in those days would have a belly like I have. But Jesus completely turns that all around. Happy are those that are poor. Happy are those that are humble, don't have any power. Happy are those that are hungry. So when he says this, it's like, hang on a minute, what? This is obviously what Jesus wants us to think. He wants us to stop and think about what truly makes us happy. I don't know if you can hear that, it's just started pouring with rain on this window above me. There we go. So you see, after payday has come and gone, you've been out, you spent all the money, it's all gone. That happiness that you had from having the money, that's worn off. After you've finished your big lovely meal, you've had a snooze, probably had a massive poo, all the food is gone. As for power, here's a clip that will show you that that's not such a great thing either.
Genie! For my final wish, I wish to become the most powerful being in the universe. More powerful than you!
A lot of gray area in that wish, but, most powerful being in the universe! Coming right up!
Most powerful in the universe, at last, second to no one, and I thought I had power before. First, I'll lay waste to those fools in Sheraban. What have you done to me?
I haven't done anything to you, Jafar.
What have you done to me?
This was your wish, not mine. A genie might have phenomenal cosmic powers,
But an itty-bitty living space. You see, a genie without a master goes back in their land.
I will not forget you, boy! Mark my words, I will not forget what you have done to me! Goodbye, Jafar! Barrett! You're coming with me!
So, for those of you that have never seen Disney's Aladdin, what have you been doing? Anyway, the evil Jafar has gained so much power from having these 2 wishes so far. All he wants is more and more power. He uses his last wish and ends up becoming a prisoner of his own greed. Whereas the poor, humble little street kid Aladdin ends up marrying a princess, sets the genie free, and everybody lives happily ever after. Disney, eh? Jesus is trying to tell us that happiness isn't something that you can make come and go. It isn't something you can just go and get. Happiness is within us. Happiness is who we are and how we are, whatever is happening to us, even the bad stuff. Happiness is when we let Jesus reframe the things in our life that seem to be the hardest.
Happy are those who are poor. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Happy are those who mourn. They will be comforted. Happy are the humble. They will inherit the earth.
Dear Lord, thank you for the community of young people in Glenwood. Thank you that you help us find happiness in all circumstances. Even when times are difficult, you can help us turn our view around and show us happiness within us.
Amen.
Why couldn't the pony sing happy birthday?
I don't know. Why couldn't the pony sing happy birthday?
Because she was a little horse.
What did one toilet say to the other?
I don't know. What did one toilet say to the other?
You look a little flushed.
What do you give to a sick lemon?
I don't know.
Lemonade.
Why do fish live in salt water?
I don't know.
Because pepper makes them sneeze.
What is a cow's favourite day of the year?
I don't know. What is a cow's favourite day of the year?
New Year's Eve.